Today is the 30th of September 2024, and I'd like to introduce you to some of the application of quadratic equation, and this will be the first one. Okay, we have done a lot of quadratic graphs. Okay, I just finished a quadratic graph series, and before then we've done a lot. I've done a lot of graphs. We've done seen a lot of manipulations. We know when the graph open upwards, and we know when the graph open downwards. So we know what to expect just by looking at the equation, okay, before we draw. Okay, as I always remind you, this platform is about tips. Even though we are learning, I'm still giving you clues and tips of how to get most of the marks, and how to look at the question so that you can get most of the marks, so that you can put your grade boundaries higher, okay, at least to get your A star, between an A star and a C. So watch last video for recap. Okay, we looked at the graph x squared plus x, y equals x squared plus x. We use our own values of x, and then after drawing the graph, I made some this thing. So in case some questions followed, you can use that graph, manipulate it, and solve other questions. You don't need to be drawing the curve over and over again. Okay, so there is it. Our starter today is probability starter. You remember a couple of videos ago, we saw find the probability of numbers between 1 to 10 with multiples of 2 and or multiples of 3. So I explained that multiples of 2 is 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And the multiples of 3 is 3, 6, 8. Okay, so because of the wording of the equation, we got an answer 8 out of 10, which was 4 out of 5, because we need the multiples of 2 and then we need the multiples of 3. So we had to count 6 twice. Okay, so we got 8 out of 10, which gave us 4 out of 5. But today we are looking at multiples of 2 and 3. Okay, so this and all word makes a vast difference. Okay, so multiples of 2 are 2, 3, and 3 are 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, and 10. That one. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Now we count the 6 once. So because of that, we have, because 6 is a multiple of 2, and a multiple of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 out of 10. Okay, so that is the difference I wanted to show you. Okay, so take notes when you're answering probability question. That's why it took me a long time when I was young to get my head around this. Okay, so I'm just showing you if these questions come, you need to be looking carefully at the wording. It sounds simple. These questions can come in the beginning of the exam. So you think, oh, somebody will write 4/5, somebody will be writing 7/8 or 7/10, and another person will be writing 8 out of 10, which is 4/5. Okay, gets to come out to realize that one was all and one was end. So take notes. If you are not sure, such questions, they look very simple. Leave it to the end. And then you go back again. Think about it carefully, because 2 and 3 are a multiple of 6. You are not going to count it twice. Okay, but if they say multiples of 2, so you count multiples of 2 separately, multiples of 3 separately. Okay, and then you would now put them together, which will give you 8 out of 10, which we did last time. So this is the start I have for you today. Go and have a think through, okay? Today we want to look at application of quadratic curves. So a question can come like this, and at times you might not even know whether you should apply. But the clue here is get start solving, okay? And then if you solve and you get a quadratic equation and you can straight away find out the x and y values, then you go ahead. But if you can't find that and you have to use the quadratic formula, then you use that, okay? Now, so today we are talking about applications. A rectangular mat is placed centrally in a room. Here too, I advise you to draw. Okay, if the diagram is not given to you. Okay, a rectangular mat is placed centrally in a room, such that the distance from each edge of the room, or edge of the mat to the wall is constant. Okay, so you've put a rectangle, it's a rectangular mat in the middle of a room. Okay, when you go to some houses, they have this laminated wooden floors, so they don't need the carpets. So they have a mat to put at the central part. Okay, so the mat has area half of the floor. Okay, so now we need area and the floor of the room. If we know the measurement, then half of that is the area of the mat. The room, find the distance from the edge of the mat to the wall. So this diagram is not to scale. Okay, I took this from the wording of the question. So the length of the room is 6 centimeters and the width is 4 centimeters. Again, not to scale. Now the rectangular mat is placed like that. It has the same distance from the edge of the room. So I put X for the same distance. Okay. Now, so I'm going to, area is length times width. So I know that 6 minus X centimeters times 4 minus X centimeters will give me the area of the room, of the mat, which is 12 centimeters, because 6 times 4 is 24 centimeters squared. That is the area of the whole room. So what did I do? Area is length times width. So if the area of the whole room is 6 times 4, then half of that will be the area of the rectangular room. So 6 minus 2x. So look at it, the length, okay? So 6 here, this is x and x. So minus 2x for the length, okay, of the mat, that one here. And then 4, look at the diagram again, 4 minus x and x, which would be the width, okay, or the breadth. So 4 minus 2x will be equal to 12, which is the area of the mat centrally placed. Okay, so 6 minus 2x all into bracket, 4 minus 2x all into bracket will be equal to the area of the mat. Okay, now this is a very important step, because if I cannot do this, then I cannot find x. Okay, now if we break this down, we'll get 24 minus 12x. 24 minus 12x, 6 times 2x, minus 8x, plus 4x squared. That is a plus, please, because minus minus will give us a plus, will be 12. So 4x squared minus 12x minus 8x is minus 20x, plus 24. If this 12 comes to this side, it will be minus, so it will become 12 here. Okay, so now what I did was I divided the whole equation by 4. Okay, so I have 4x squared. If I divide by 4 is 4x. Divide 20x by 4 is 5x minus 5x. Okay, divide plus 24 by 4, it will be plus 6. and then divide 12 by 4 is 4. So now, going forward, x squared minus 5x plus 6 minus 3 equals 0. Okay, x squared minus 5x plus 3 equals 0. Now, from here, I'm going to apply the quadratic graph, where a is 1, b is minus 5, c is plus 3. Now, you know that the quadratic equation, okay, a formula, okay, is minus b. So minus b now is minus 5 plus or minus b squared. So 5 all squared minus 5 all squared minus 4. A is 1, C is 3. Don't forget the b squared. Okay, so now we have minus 5 minus b, so minus 5, which is 5, plus or minus b squared minus 5 all squared will give us 25. 4 times 1 times 3 will give us 12, all over 2a. Okay, so 5 plus or minus square root of 13 all over 2a being 1 will give us 2. Okay. All in centimeters, because x from the question is a length. Okay. Now, if you use the calculator right, you find the square root of 13. Add 5, so 5 plus square root of 13, all over 2, or 5 minus square root of 13 over 2. If you use the calculator right, you get 4.30 centimeters or 0.70 centimeters. Now, you have two answers. Which one are you going to choose? Okay, here I chose 0.7 centimeters because if I choose 4, x equals 4.3, the weight is 4 centimeters. So it will be longer than the room. But I know that this distance here, or that distance here, or the one here, or this here, shouldn't be 4.3. Otherwise, the math is longer. Okay, the room, the x will put it further. So the realistic answer to choose is 0.7 centimeters. So even though I've chosen this, unlike some of the questions we see, one is negative and one is positive. And I can't choose a negative answer for length. Here, both of them are positive, but I can't choose 4.0. Think about it. If the width is 4 centimeters and you are fitting a mat, okay, you can't fit a mat that has a distance from the wall 4 centimeters. If you put it 4.3 centimeters on both sides, it's even longer than the room, the width of the room, okay? So that is the explanation. So that's why we chose 0.7 centimeters. So this is the diagram. If you don't understand it, look at the diagram, think about it, and see if it makes sense to choose 4.3 centimeters or 0.7. Okay, because if you are going to use a quadratic, a formula, okay, or a quadratic equation, you are going to come out with two answers. If one is negative and one is positive, you will go for the positive, that is straight away. But here, you have two positive. One is longer than the width. So you look at the diagram, and this is where it's good. If you've not given the diagram, you should start by sketching the question, because it would, at the end of the question, you'll be able to figure out which answer to go for. So this is 0.7, that will be 0.7, that will be 0.7, that will be 0.7. So 0.7 minus 0.7. And when I add 0.7 as 0.7 is 1.4. So this area and that area, when I take it out of 6, okay, it means the mat can be in the space of the room. This is a 0.7 as 0.7, 1.4. When I take it out of 6 centimeters, this mat also will be, but assuming I choose 4.3, that is 8.6, which is even longer than the width and the length of the room. So that will discard 4.3. Thank you so much for joining me in today's lesson, and I'll see you in the next.